Hello and welcome to another scene for Suburban Apples. And here in Brigganfowl, things have started to get cold. Time has passed and autumn can't last forever. Snow has begun to fall, the lake is frozen over, and children are sledding down hills. Everything has that eerie silence to it because snow absorbs sound. But it's a peaceful silence as far as Brigganfowl is concerned. In Sana Lipias, it's a little more ominous feeling just because the cold seems to bite just a little harder, perhaps. But because it is a snow day and we'll say the weekend, our young people feel themselves drawn to the iced over lake where somebody is renting out ice skates to those who do not have their own.
It's good because I do not have ice skates.
Nor does Patrick, but guess who's not getting them back?
Patrick, you scamp.
But yeah, no. Patrick's definitely been very drawn to the frozen over lake, and more than likely he's at least maybe not all of them are there, but he's got most of them. It's up to you on which ones were able to make it.
Well, Joey's there, but he's not ice skating just because it would be a little hazardous to wheel out onto the ice, no matter how certain you are that the thing is sturdy enough to handle kids skating across of it.
Mm-hmm.
You've also got Marcus and today, Marcus is the only other one of them, but Emma and Agnes have managed to make their way out as well, though Emma and Agnes are not interacting with each other because they don't know each other.
Yep. Patrick's the only one who seems to know.
Yes. He knows everybody.
He knows everyone. He makes friends easy.
Are you sure? Are you sure you know everyone? Because I feel there are people you don't know that I know, but you don't.
Yeah. Well, I'll meet them. Well, I'll know them when I meet them.
If you meet them, yes, but you do not know them yet.
Well, they don't exist.
Except that they do, because you see they are on my sheet. And it seems an appropriate time, perhaps, if I might be allowed to say, have asked one of my allies to meet me, just because it's fun.
Sure.
Could I possibly have asked my puka friend to join me? Because pukas are great and like to drive people crazy.
Yes. Did you...
Thomas.
Sorry. Thomas was a... What kind of puka?
Bear. That's why I think he's appropriate for this, because bears and ice, and it sounds very wintry.
Okay, yes, there he is. Thomas.
He's a
Yamashita. Okay, I almost said that very badly.
It's okay. At least how I say it is Yamashita.
It's good, because I was gonna say Yamashita, and I was like, no, that's not right.
I don't see her other ally being such an ice skating person, but I can see where this guy would be. I mean, if you look at the other allies she has, maybe not as good.
Let's see if we can drag contacts into this at some point.
That's why I figured I might as well do something. You know what? Let's bring in Thomas. Damn it!
Yes,
bring in Tom. Good old Tom.
Yes, a surly and drowsy looking puka sits off at the edge, sipping hot cocoa from a thermos.
At least he's probably warm. Yes. He probably has bear ears, I'm imagining, and I don't know.
Yes, and a thick layer of fat.
He's a guy at the moment. Jesus.
Doesn't mean he can't be tubby. People come in large too.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Now I want to go find a picture of a very cuddleable looking surly man. Or man or teenager, I don't know, but somebody, they are a changeling, whatever. I'm just going to say that I'm a little afraid to look up. If I just look up bear, I feel that there might be some issues in looking them up. But
So yes, Thomas sits surly and drowsy because bear in the winter means sleepy times. But since he's also a puka, it is less sleepy time and more be drowsy all the time. But yes, keeping company with his little spider puka friend at the frozen lake.
Who's probably talking his ear off. Driving him crazy.
And just you get that sort of like, no,
Is there any caffeine in that? Because there really should be some caffeine in that.
He just puts his hand over the top of his thermos before you throw something in it. He knows what puka are like. He is one.
She gives him a shocked look, and it's just like, why do you think I would ever forcefully caffeinate someone? That doesn't mean I might not offer you, a monster or, coffee.
I'm saving my energy for a nap later, thank you.
So what's it going to be? So what's it going to be called when I take you when you come out and skate with me?
Duress, he says, sips at his hot chocolate, putting his hand over between sips. There's a lot of kids out on the ice, D. Kids are sticky.
Woo!
How old
Patrick
is
is like
guy?
taking to this thing.
How old is this guy? Like 18, 19?
Yeah, same age as D, because otherwise it'd be creepy.
He's an old man.
No, I mean, she doesn't have friends of a lot. I mean, she has younger friends, as you can see here.
Yes.
So it's not you can't have friends. It's just, okay. And she just looks at him and she's just like, I object to that. They're most certainly not creepy. They're the cleanest things I've ever seen. Just look at him. Look at him. There's not a speck of dirt on him as she sees Patrick whiz by.
Leaving behind a trail of dirt.
But yeah, no, for Patrick, of course, taking to the ice is just like almost natural. I mean, maybe it took like a moment or two for him to get his balance again, but once he got it, he's going off it, pirouetting, carving patterns in it. He's like racing circles around people.
Very good, Patrick. Very good. Emma, as mentioned earlier, is at the lake as well, but she's off to like another part of the bank with Vin, who's like encouraging her to do pirouettes and practice like figure skating moves. Like, bring your arms in.
Oh Jesus! I can tell you right now that she would just kind of take one look at that, then look at poor Tom here and just be like, "Now, don't you dare move! I know you want to skate." And then she's going to head off over to basically sort of try to snake Emma away from where she's being forced to do things that she doesn't want to do.
Well, she is on the ice and probably in something semi like sparkly, not in like a full like competition level outfit by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely something with a skirt and sequins, like leggings, her own skates, and Vin is Emma, no, dear, you need to bring your arms in to bring up the speed. Okay, now practice the triple sow cow. She's just...
Oh, God. Yeah, she sort of skates right in between them, and kind of circles around Emma to make it pretty clear to Emma that, hey, I'm here kind of thing.
All right, cool. Roll Dex Athletics to see how you do with that maneuvering.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, all she did was skate around.
I thought it was Dex Technology.
Carol. I have more dice for that than I do for the other one. I'll take it. Thanks. 0 successes, so I mean it's not fancy.
Yeah.
At all. But in theory, she hopefully maybe didn't fall, or if she fell, it was a slightly graceful and that she didn't get hurt during. Either way, she presented a distraction to her dad, so it works for her.
Yes, you managed to slide to a not graceful halt, in front of Mr. McBride or Vin.
And sort of like nearly run into him and just kind of sorry.
He looks over Dee's shoulder. Keep practicing, Emma. And he looks back to Dee. Is there something I can help you with, Miss Singh?
There's a blink. She doesn't like hearing her name like that. And then she'll just be like, let me borrow her for a little bit.
He just kind of like looks around at the other kids. What are you borrowing her for?
To let her have fun, like the other kids are.
She's having plenty of fun, aren't you, Emma? She just like gives a shrug and tries to like build up speed for another one of those like leaps where you have like your leg out afterwards sort of thing.
It's only for a little bit. Just let me borrow for a little bit. I even have a friend over there who will help me keep an eye on her. As she points over to Thomas, who has no idea that she's just volunteered him for this.
Just don't get her involved in any of the mischief and the rabble, he says, indicating where Patrick's them are, the them that are present, are currently building a snow fort and arming it with plenty of snowballs.
Oh, damn right we are.
I promise that I will not get her involved in it.
He just gives a look.
She was not lying. He's not going to get her involved. That doesn't mean she's going to stop her from getting involved, though. She was not lying when she said those words, though.
He's like, well, I did bring a lovely tomato soup with basil and cheese crostini croutons to garnish it with. And he goes off on some pretentious rant about what this is in the soup.
Jesus Christ. I'm sorry.
And
yeah.
And moves to like a picnic table to, procure his own thermos. This one filled apparently with hot tomato goop because I don't like tomato soup. Yuck.
Me neither. Yeah, and if he seems to have sort of been distracted, he kind of distracted himself away a little bit, which she'll accept that, and she has his permission, as far as she can tell, or she's going to take it that way. So she's going to kind of head over to Emma and kind of bend down and be like, "You want to go have some fun instead of that?"
And she gives a nod. Yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like to get rid of the tutu real quick. And she's going to kind of like shuffle herself to like the edge of the ice where there's a duffel bag, and she like undoes the little tutu and like sits down, shuffles sweatpants on over the leggings.
Yeah.
And then she'll join you. Patrick, what are you up to as all of this goes on?
Well, Patrick is currently like, he's actually enjoying the skating, and he's actually got himself rounded up in a bag of like a game of tag with some of the other kids. He's just having fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's probably still checking in on like the fortresses and stuff like that, and periodically he'll stop to help, but then he'll get distracted again and just go back onto the ice. He's having way too much fun. Just enjoying the crisp air and just being in motion.
Well, your them seem to have taken to Alice and Agnes, and her being the expert of fort defense is showing them how to make like icicle turrets, that sort of thing.
That's amazing.
Yes,
it's kind of badass, not gonna lie. Icicle turrets, that's very impressive.
She's kind of a thing.
What? No.
Joey is he's not getting to move around as much because snow does not mesh well with wheelchairs. But he seems to be making the best of his situation.
Heck, if anything, him having a discussion with Agnes on turret construct of fortress construction is actually probably pretty good. More minds on similar things.
Yes. they can discuss, he's very brainy and she's very focused.
Mhm.
So yes.
Finally, someone who appreciates his.
So both of you roll me perception alertness.
Okay, I think that's 4 dice for me right now.
Perception alertness is 4 dice for you, yes.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay. And I'll wait for Christie's. Are you on
0.
Discord?
Yeah, I just rolled.
Okay, cool. Sorry,
0.
I wasn't sure if you had pulled out dice.
No, I didn't. I'm just gonna go this way because it's easier than having to deal with my dice.
That's fine. Opening it up. Okay, so no successes?
Correct.
Okay. Patrick just barely hears the sound of music. It isn't coming from the shoreline, but you can't quite place where it's coming from.
Yeah, Patrick starts to, slow down as he sort of like stops, and he seems very focused for a moment as he's like trying to figure out where the music's coming from. And he stops and he's like staring, and of course there's kids laughing and stuff like that, but he's got this very serious look, like he's very much concentrating on something.
I'll go and do a perception alert to see if I noticed that, since I was just kind of talking to Emma. Might be distracted.
Mm-hmm. So roll again to see if you see Patrick's focus.
I got 2 successes.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
You notice that Patrick has slowed down his skating substantially and seems to be looking around.
Is that the mischievous look that he so often has?
No, it's more like he's trying to, I don't know. He's very concentrated on something, not necessarily mischievous or anything like that, but he's just more like curiosity and like trying to make a determination about something.
Oh, okay. Your acute senses, that reduces the difficulty, right?
Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? I forgot you had that.
Okay, so you would have heard the music too. As a matter of fact, yeah, you heard it better than Patrick. You can actually hear that it's coming from like further towards the like center of the lake.
Okay, she's going to, because she was in the middle of talking to Emma. Emma's dressed, right? So she's just going to look and be like, hey, skate with me over. She'll just be like, do you want to go play with them? As she points to, the kids that are playing in the snow.
Since she recognizes at least 2 of them, she gives a nod. She takes off her skates because they are not on the ice. And she'll head over there.
Yeah, she'll just be like, okay, let me go walk over there with you, so at least your dad will see that, you're with me. And then he'll lose sight of you and you can play for a while, okay?
Okay.
I got you. She like gives Emma a bit of a thumbs up. And then once she does that, kind of takes her over there, did I give her curiosity? That is the question.
Let me see.
Because I tend to do that on my characters.
Flaws. Allergic. No. Nope. And nope.
Nope. She does have impatient, though. But nobody's making her wait at this point. So once you make sure that Emma's in a place where, because she doesn't want Emma to get in trouble by following weird music. Like, she's a good kid despite being kind of weird.
Meanwhile, while this is going on, Patrick is like slowly skating, like he's trying to figure out where the music's coming from, and he's moving very slowly. He skates and he just slides along for a moment, sort of, and like not quite closing his eyes, but like trying to like just pinpoint where the sound's coming from.
All right, roll another perception alertness.
That's 2 successes.
Okay, you can also tell that it's coming from like the center of the lake, and it's not just any music. It is vocal harmonics. It is very, very sweet music.
Yep, nope. Curiosity is piqued. Ah, and Patrick starts to skate on over.
Does anybody else seem to notice the music?
Mortals do not notice the music at the moment, but I will roll for the kids real quick. Let's see.
The kids and maybe Thomas?
Okay, yeah, I can do that too.
Vin is too busy with his broche tomato lobster bisque, whatever.
Did you say flopster?
Lobster bisque.
Holy shit. Emma.
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 What did Emma do?
Emma had 4 10s and a 7.
Jesus.
She does the crap out of that.
But nobody's asking why she hears this.
Well, I didn't know she was until just now, so
yeah.
I mean, if she's like looking up at this music.
No, she's just ignoring it.
Okay.
Let's see if Agnes hears it. Oof, absurd number of dice for Agnes as well.
The ladies hear it.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3 successes for Agnes. Yeah, she's going to sort of abandon the turret project and start like sliding her feet onto the ice without skates on. And let's see, Thomas. Yes, they can.
Mr. Bear?
Mr. Bear.
If I could type this without the excess spaces, that would be fantastic.
You got one.
He hears it. But just like with the 1 success earlier, he doesn't really quite know where it's coming from, but he is kind of like focusing on the like, actually, you know what? I'm going to roll Vin too, since I have his original character sheet here.
But his lobster bisque.
Give him a +1 diff because he's distracted
by his bisque. Yes.
It wouldn't work on everybody, but it would on him.
But his lobster bisque. Next idea for a t-shirt.
I mean, yeah.
Vin hears it as well, but at the same level of as Thomas. He and Thomas are both know there's music, but they're just like they're more mesmerized by it than drawn to it.
Okay, well, basically, I think we got everybody right at this point, right?
Yeah. And both of you roll willpower to not immediately drop what you're doing to skate over to where you hear the music coming from.
Let me find my willpower.
Yes. Patrick, you have 5.
I think I have curiosity, and I'm already on my way over.
No,
so.
no,
right.
Well, you need to resist when it comes to curiosity. Or you could try.
I'm owning it. I'm going.
I'm just saying. It's one of those things. I'm good. So that means I get to choose what I'm going to do. What she's going to do then is she's going to kind of skate over to Tom, who kind of came here with her, really. So she just thinks it would be rude to abandon. And be like, come on, there's something over there. Does she kind of angle her head in that direction? Because since she got Emma settled, she's fine. And she's just going to she's going to, in the most awkward thing ever, the spider girl is going to offer a hand to the bear man.
The bear man.
He's hearing the music and being invited towards the music. He like nods, but he doesn't seem completely in control of his like ability to resist at the moment anyways. It doesn't dawn on him to try and resist. So he'll follow out on the ice. Agnes is trying to gain purchase. She doesn't have skates, so she's just kind of like
excuse me.
just kind of like sliding a bit, occasionally falling over. But she's making her way as well. Um, Emma shows no sign of actually hearing it. She's playing with the them, building a snow fort.
Yeah, so she's going of her own free will, because I had plenty of successes there. Even if it was 7 or 8, she still had plenty. So yeah, she's going along kind of cautiously, because when it seems that only certain types of people are noticing it, that's a little weird. So she's going.
All right. So are you heading towards where Patrick is going?
Well, wherever she saw, wherever she heard the music coming from. So I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Both of you roll perception kenning. That is 3 dice for you, Patrick.
3 dice for me. That's right. My kenning's not that good.
But it exists.
I thought I actually bought that up, but who knows?
Who knows?
I've never had a chance to buy this up yet. Okay, my kenning is
1 success.
All right. You can start to hear like voices in the music, and you can also kind of pick up like melodious laughter coming from what seems to be beneath the ice. D, how many did you get?
I got 1.
Okay, same for you.
Well, that actually alleviates a part of what she was worried about, because she was wondering if this was like the frickin' Pied Piper or something. Because when you just hear music, but if you hear multiple voices, then it's probably not the Pied Piper. That's usually just one person. So she looks slightly relieved, but we'll very carefully kind of keep going.
Patrick stops as he's looking at there, and he actually, he's got that thing. It sounds like it's coming down below. He sort of like tries to wipe a little bit of the whatever's snow and debris away to see if he can see anything. I don't know if he can, but he'll put his ear to the ice.
Roll perception alertness again. 4 dice if you don't remember.
That is wow, 4 successes.
You see 2 like almost gemstone colored eyes peering back at you when you look at the ice, and when you put your ear to it, you can hear, "Do you want to join us?" And that's actually like the lyric worked into like the lyrics of the song. Most of it is in a language you don't know, but the one part that you can make out is a very alluring, "Do you want to join us?" So yeah, just that's what you see. Beautiful eyes and a voice.
And Patrick actually takes the moment after he hears that. He gets like, he actually is like lying down there, and he's got his hands up cupped on his cheeks there as he's looking down at the ice, right at those gemstone eyes, his own brilliant emerald green eyes, gazing right back into these gemstone eyes. Well, how would I join you? You're under the ice, silly.
And you hear another voice as another set of eyes joins the other one, and suddenly faces come into focus, and they're very beautiful faces, with sort of like almost a tint of like opalescence, where there's like the faint hint of scales along jawbones and necklines. And the second creature says, "Break the ice, silly." Yeah, and Agnes is slowly making her way towards where Patrick is, and so are Dee and Thomas. Actually, Dee, you have ice skates on, so
yep.
Yeah, we'll say like if you want to roll Dex Athletics, you can get there. You can be there already since you have Thomas in tow. Let's see how you do.
She was going pretty cautiously, so I'd say she wouldn't try to rush things too. You know what I mean? Like she was able to overcome the being compelled part.
Okay.
So she's kind of going, what the hell is this? Because she's suspicious right now.
Okay, so what you see as you're cautiously making your way is Patrick having sort of a conversation at the ice with as he's like, well, what Michael described, cupping his cheeks and looking down into
he's got his elbows, he's got his elbows propped up, and he's looking down, and he's like talking to something down in the ice.
And this is definitely where the music is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
She'll kind of first glance at Thomas to see how he is. I mean, is he pretty much just following he's enthralled basically?
More like mesmerized. He's not being drawn by the music. He doesn't hear it that well. Even as you're getting closer, it's sort of like that first signal just isn't quite getting stronger for people. But
okay.
Yeah. Let's see. We see how.
Let me see if I have. Yeah, she'll go ahead and go up and try to get on the ice pretty much next to Patrick and be like, hey, and then try to look down herself to see what she can see, because she doesn't quite get what's happening here yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Patrick's in the middle of saying it's something. It's like, hey, why don't you break the ice? He's just...
Do you need me to roll to see what's going on there?
It'll be a lower. No, you can actually look. You see where Patrick is, and so you can look if you want to and see what's down there. You'll have to get down because the ice is pretty thick.
Oh yeah, I mean she'll totally get down on her knees to look.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance I could roll something like maybe, I don't know, academics or something to see if I have any idea what this is?
Sure. Yeah, you don't have any like lore or anything, do you?
I do not, but I figured I might have possibly read a book someplace.
Yeah, that's fine. Academics is fine. Intelligence, academics.
See, I think you have analytical. Does that count for special? It doesn't have to. I just figured I'd ask the question. I'm rolling either way, though.
Actually, I was going to say, if you want to go with your academics, you have classic literature. That might work too.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do, was roll int. That's what I just did, was roll int academics. Okay. And I have 3 successes at diff 6.
Okay. So yeah, as you look down, you see mermaids. What you, or at least what you are piecing together from children's stories, some rather less Disney illustrations. They are much more gem tone colored, a little more scaly, with webbed fingers, but they're very beautiful. Their hair has like more mossy than, normal hair tones, that sort of thing. And
you said this is a lake, right? This is not salt water.
Yes, it is. It is a lake.
That's really weird. She's just kind of gonna blink and be like, mermaids? But in a lake?
And you're going to start hearing their little chant as well. Why don't you join us? Break the ice.
She'll just be like, because I can't breathe underwater.
You won't have to breathe.
It's helpful to breathe. I'm a person, and especially for a spider.
I'm a person, especially for a spider. I like that.
I'm a puka. I can say it's perfect.
That is a very puka thing to say.
Oh, hey, Dee. I'm making new friends.
Don't break the ice until we decide it's the right thing to do.
Well, I'm asking them why they can't break the ice.
Fair enough. Go for it.
Roll perception alertness again. Your hearing specialty, by the way, does apply for D.
2 successes.
2 successes.
I think it's at -2 diff, so that gives me 4. Does that sound right?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Without me looking it up, I can't remember for sure, but that seems right.
We're only trying to drown you, Peter. I mean,
Okay. So, under where Agnes is kind of like struggling to gain purchase, you hear scritching coming from underneath the ice. Kind of like something clawing under where she is. And you also, Dee, you hear it much louder, but probably because it's also coming from underneath Thomas.
Yeah, she's going to go. She's going to look at Patrick and be like, "Go grab Agnes and pull her away from there," and she's going to go grab Thomas.
Okay, Dex Athletics for both of you.
Okay. So Patrick's like looks at that. He's like, okay. He's like, oh, for him, it's like, oh, it's a race. Can I save her before the mermaids get there? Let's
just
find out.
say that she is completely fine with making this into a game if it works for what she wants.
Yep. So Patrick's going to does quick or nimble apply to this?
Yep.
Well, I got 0 successes.
Okay.
I don't know what is with my athletics today, but there you
go. 5.
I sure I can't have that text
Dex technology. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think I might be better at that.
4 successes for Patrick.
Okay, Patrick, you managed to zoom over and scoop Agnes out of the way just as, and this is what happens to Thomas, by the way, a large clawed webbed hand rusts through the ice, and the one where Agnes was grabs nothing, but the one where Thomas grabs his ankle and starts yanking him down into the ice.
Yeah.
The sound of ice cracking echoes across the lake.
All right, so this is how because she failed to get there quite quickly enough to pull him out of the way, but she did get a lot closer. Am I close enough to go over there and grab his hand?
This is going to be a strength roll.
Okay.
So strength athletics. I think that is 3 dice for you.
Well, my athletics is doing fantastic today. Can I spend a willpower?
Yes.
That gets me 2.
Okay. With 2, you're not pulling him out of the mermaid's grasp, but you do keep him from being pulled under. So he and you are kind of like clawing, and it does seem to have broken him out of his sort of like stage, and now he's also trying to keep himself from being pulled under. But I would be careful. Perception, alertness, both of you, to maybe understand what your situation is.
Okay.
I think I may understand a little bit already.
One success for Patrick.
That would be 5.
Okay. the ice is cracking all around the lake. Patrick, there's cracked ice around you.
Yep. Well, Patrick's at this point being careful as the the clawed hand's still going. And I mean, he's got a good hold of Agnes as she's probably realizing what's happened. At least she's now not flying 12 billion miles in the air. But Patrick actually scoops around as the thing's like trying to claw around, and he reaches out and gives the clawed hand a big high five before flying off.
Yeah, okay, so I realized totally what's happening here. Am I able to slide slightly to the side of whatever cracks there are so that it can be balanced on a piece of ice?
Okay.
I'm still holding onto his hand. I'm not letting go. And if you say I can't do both, that's fine. Then I'll just play it as it comes.
She's not letting high.
He's not
down
letting
low.
Go.
Too slow.
When you have an ally is a friend, and you don't abandon a friend.
Yes.
So she's not letting go of his hand no matter what.
Yes. The cold water splashing up from this struggle is you guys are going to need. You're going to need to roll me stamina just to make sure you aren't like going to raise your difficulty or anything.
Sure. It'll be fantastic. Let's do that.
Yeah.
debauch.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, you're soaked. So you've like you can feel like cold in your bones kind of thing. You're still managing to hold on to Thomas, but it's you can feel that it's going to be a challenge soon if something doesn't change. Patrick, all that slapping around, was that like a bunk for something, or is it just
No,
Patrick?
he's just being Patrick. He
Okay.
just he gives it a high five, which probably startles the mermaid. Up high, down low, too slow, as he just zooms off with Agnes
Zooms
dancing
off
along the
across the
crack.
Oh, okay. Roll me Dex Athletics again, just to make sure you aren't,
Mhm.
shattering the ice beneath you into fine slush.
Uh-huh. 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Okay, so yeah, you're doing your nonsense.
Yep, I'm doing my nonsense, and every other mermaid that may be coming up, he's high-fiving them as they go by.
Can I
Because
try?
he's ridiculous.
Yes.
Can I try to keep? I mean, if I'm going to ignore this crack, then that's fine. I'll ignore it,
Mhm.
wherever it ends up at. Fine. But she's going to. Yeah. Can I potentially roll my Dex Athletics again to try to pull him up at a higher diff since I'm really really cold now?
Yes, you certainly can.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure I'm rolling this right. Oh, geez, my alarm. Sorry. Okay. My athletics is 2. Okay, I was just questioning, like, what did I just do? Okay, so that is 2 successes at a higher diff.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's 7.
Yes.
And yeah, she is still attempting to. At the very least, she has a good grip on him. I don't know if the mermaid's still holding on to him or if the mermaid has moved off to do something else.
No, with somebody's body in the water, they're trying to claim him. So it is a struggle. But with 2 successes, you're holding on to him, but getting wetter. And next action, you'll have to also roll another stamina just to see if you're maintaining your body heat or not. Patrick, perception alertness to see if you are paying any attention to if you notice that D is now struggling to keep somebody from drowning.
He's got 3 successes. This is
Okay.
probably about him, like about the time where he's finally reached the end point after having high-fived several mermaids along the way and managed to put Agnes down back on the bank with the rest of the them. Very proud of himself because he's they couldn't stop him. He won, and he looks and he sees D struggling.
Yes.
I can get both the points. As he goes zooming off in that direction.
Hey, I kept him from drowning. He's still above water. He's very, very wet and very, very cold, but he is also not being dragged down anyway. At least I'm maintaining. Okay, I'll go ahead and roll my
who got
stamina,
their
if that's
person
okay.
saved to the bank first? I ask you.
It's not my fault you have 6 decks, okay? I'm a normal person over here.
It's my fault.
I'm a normal person over here.
But then who's to blame? You are. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Okay, so stamina?
Yes.
Yay! I got a 7.
Okay, good. So yeah, you maintain you're not getting colder. It's still not pleasant, but you're not getting colder.
I'm still at diff 7, not 8.
Yes. And Thomas is going to try and help as well with let's see.
Should I roll as well to add our successes, or?
Yeah, go ahead.
I got 1 because diff 7.
And
he got 1.
adds 1 as well. So yeah, it's not a graceful thing. He's managing to grab a hold of the ice, but he's not managing to pull himself out of the water. But it does make your grip a little better for your next turn, which will return it to normal difficulty to hold on to him or pull him out. Patrick, what you doing?
Patrick's zooming along here, and he takes a moment to, it's like do a complete full circle to get a view of the of what's going on. That kind of like just slide around sort of thing as he's looking at. It's not that he isn't going to help, but right now he's like assessing the situation as he gets a full view of where are the hands grabbing, where are they going at, and he
do something. Yeah, if she notices you that you're basically you've just gone all the way around, she'll be like, distract the mermaid. She'll just kind of yell that out. Distract the mermaid.
He's like, okay. And he dives into the water.
Cool, roll stamina.
Oh, well, it's only 2 dice, I think. Or no, it is 3 dice.
3 dice. Yeah.
Okay.
Because she's not entirely convinced that you have. She's not entirely convinced that you have a bunch of strength. So that's why she was like, just do something to get the mermaid to stop pulling.
Yep. And it's normal diff, or what's the diff?
Yeah, normal diff, because it's a stamina roll to see if other things are going to be at a higher diff.
Okay. He just got 2 successes. So he's
okay, good. So surprisingly, he's managing this fine. Roll me perception alertness as well.
2 successes.
All right. You notice that the mermaids are there's more mermaids coming into this water. They seem to be entering in by like a glowing portal under, like, deep in the water.
That's actually really interesting. I wish I had curiosity at this point.
Yeah. And Patrick takes a deep breath and dives under and starts to swim.
All right.
Towards the portal, and hopefully to distract the mermaids as he high-fives a few of them along the way.
Yes.
Who are probably like, what?
Because of who Patrick is the living legend of, the mermaids aren't directing hostility directly at him, but the others aren't faring as well because they are not Peter Pan. And the mermaids are a lot more hostile as far as the rest of the world is concerned. So, yeah, they don't stop you from heading towards this portal. But we'll say it takes another turn for you to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the cold, under the ice. At least he's distracting. Hopefully, as he's high-fiving them along the way.
Yeah, it slows down the progression of mermaids.
They're like, is that...
What the fuck is going on with this?
Hi, Peter!
So yeah, back to D. What are you doing?
She's not letting go. So this girl is going to just keep trying.
Okay.
So if she fails and falls in herself, she's not going to let him go.
Okay. So I guess strength athletics or dex athletics. Dex athletics will say you'll manage to crawl onto the ice and give yourself purchase. Strength athletics if you want to pull him onto the piece of ice that you're on.
Yeah, that's the goal here. So that is. Where's my brain? Okay. Whew, it's back to regular diff. I get 3.
All right, you managed to pull him onto the ice floe.
And she'll just kind of be like, stay flat. Otherwise, we may have issues here.
So he spreads himself out bearskin rug style across the the piece of ice that you're on.
Yeah, and she's pretty much kind of doing the same thing, but with her head up a bit so she can try to get an idea of what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? She wants to get a feel for what the deal is. Like, are we free floating? Are we not?
You're on a rather large piece of ice, but it is not attached to the rest of the lake. It is very wobbly and hard to keep balance on. You know, it took you a couple of successes to get on here with your friend, so you know that already. Too far to one side and it will tip over, sending you both into the water.
Okay, so he's definitely got the bigger bulk. So yeah, she's going to kind of let him be more central and her more off to one side. because Spider Girl's going to be a lot lighter than Bear Man.
Yes.
So, yeah, and the only thing she will do though is if she can do it sort of gently, she's going to kind of put no, she's not going to put anything in the water if she can avoid it. Her best bet at this point is just to kind of wait and see if we can float someplace near an edge that we might be able to jump off.
Okay.
Because if I put anything in the water, the mermaid's going to grab it.
Yeah, that is probably true. Let's see, what arts do you have? Primal.
Yeah, that's a good point. I do have arts. Look at that.
Yeah.
Jesus, Kronos too. Well, I could distract somebody. Is there anybody to distract?
The mermaids, I guess.
That would be a scene moment right there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's scene. I mean, that is something. If we get close enough, she would do that to distract them while we try to jump across. But right now, as long as we keep ourselves on the ice, we're probably okay from what she's guessing. Primal one, I can talk to them. Naming, what the hell does naming do? I can't even remember.
What's
Michael.
your naming at? What's your naming
one.
at?
One.
Oh, you can understand languages, and if you, depending on how many more successes you get past the first one, you get a +1 bonus in all skills determining people's intentions and stuff with their words and everything along those lines.
She gets their intentions. They want us to drown with them. That's pretty much
with us. Swim with us forever.
Okay, a bear is like swimming sometimes, but a spider never likes swimming. So, yeah, and either way, a bear cannot breathe underwater forever.
No. But a bear might be able to fare better if he slips underwater.
Yeah.
Just saying, Puka can now shift in front of people if they spend glamour.
Right.
Like, they just can't in front of the mortals.
Right. Well, that's not really an issue at the moment.
Oh, there's mortals. There's kids on the bank.
They can see out this far?
Yeah, it's in the middle of a lake that's frozen over. There's not like anything obstructing the view.
Okay. Yeah, because what else? Let me see what else I had. Sorry, I can never remember what everything. Primal one was talking to them. Kronos one is, not helpful. I don't think she has anything that's really any use here. So, what this is going to boil down to is probably an impatience roll.
Okay. So, go ahead.
Because eventually it's going to really bug her that she can't do something. Mm-hmm. What do I have to roll for that? Do you remember?
I want to say it's a willpower to not like lose your cool and just start acting out.
If that's your call, I will roll my willpower.
Okay.
Got 2 at diff 6.
Okay. Yeah, it might be higher, but for the sake of this, we're going to say diff 6 is fine because.
Well, then 1 at diff 7.
I want to say that willpower rolls for like the flaws are at 8, but I'm not sure. That's why I'm saying
your choice.
Say that the situation kind of presses upon her the need to keep her head cool a little more sternly. So you'll do the willpower roll, and I
mean, she's honestly at this point probably kind of. She knows what's happening. He knows what's happening, and they're both she's like probably kind of grasping onto his hand as tightly as she can at this point, because this is kind of scary.
So yeah, perception alertness as well, by the way. For you, D.
Yes. 2 if either of my things counts. Any of my merits.
Yes, because both would, I think. No, yeah, both would, because you have sight and sound. You can hear and see like the laughing of mermaids as they all seem to be gathering on one side of this piece of ice, and you start seeing hands grasping the side of it.
On ours?
Uh-huh.
She's
oh no.
Yeah, well, let's see here. That is a really good moment to attempt a little bit of Kronos 2 to distract the shit out of them.
Okay. What are you gonna do with the bunk?
Well, you know what? Her hands are really full. There's no way she can do a big fancy one. best thing she can do is kind of look around, realize that mermaids and Peter Pan are a thing, and say something that sounds kind of Peter Pan-esque, and say tick tock, your tick tock, your time is up.
Okay.
Which kind of, it's only one, I'm sure, but it's a thing.
It is.
It's the best I got at the moment.
So yes, roll it.
So that's Faye. And in order to affect all of them, I have to include scene, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking at 2 plus 2. So it's 4 dice at diff 8.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a great roll, guys. I could spend willpower?
Yeah.
Okay, that's 2 willpower in the scene, guys. And it gives me 1 success.
Yay!
So let's see how long for 2. So it's not going to last incredibly long if I remember my Chronos right.
You know what? Actually, give me 2 seconds. I will get back without looking at a book because I have it on Misha's sheet.
Okay.
Which is a blessing.
Never smile at a crocodile.
While you look that up, we will zoom over to Patrick as you watch the mermaids. Messing with you. And what are you doing?
Well, I'm very curious about that glowing portal. So,
that's
unfortunately,
right. You're underwater.
Yep, I'm underwater, swimming towards the portal.
Okay, roll me stamina again.
3 successes.
Okay, so you're still staying pretty good. You reached the portal. Are you going to actually go in it?
That one I might want to roll curiosity for before he decides to stick his head in.
Yeah. Okay.
It was only 1 turn for me.
Oh no! Unfortunately, my dice got crooked. 1 moment. Let's try that again. And nope, no successes. Didn't botch, but no successes. Patrick is yep, he wants to know what's on the other side of that portal. That last adventure was a lot of fun. There was brownies.
As you go through this light under the water, like almost immediately as you pass through it, the water feels warmer. Like it's warmer, it's salty, and it's bright. It's also very, very clear.
Patrick is just like sort of looking around here, seeing where he
is
now.
Surface. Yeah, you can surface.
Yeah. So yeah, he'll rise up.
And you find yourself in like a lagoon. There's large rock faces jutting upwards. There's a couple of mermaids on the bank kind of looking at him curiously. And yeah, it's a beautiful, like, sunny day. There's flowers in bloom, vines twisting up through trees that are, growing and just off the banks past the sand. There's like this very mystical kind of appearance to it, because like there's chunks of crystal on the cliff edge where a waterfall feeds the lagoon, and you hear the mermaids are singing their song, "Why don't you join us? Why don't you join us?" But they aren't saying "break the ice" because there's no ice here.
Could this trigger a remembrance roll? Actually?
Yeah.
What diff?
We'll say 7.
He got 1 success.
You have seen mermaids before. You have been to the lagoons of mermaids before. There's something definitely familiar about this, Patrick.
Yeah. No, this feels very familiar. And, there's still more curiosity. I know, I'm sorry. I know there's danger and stuff, but he's hooked into this. This is weird. So he's going to swim up to the banks with the mermaids who are like sort of staring at him curiously. He's like, "Hello."
And like 4 or 5 mermaids turn their head to him and they say, "Hello."
Have I been here before?
And they sort of giggle at that. And well, sometimes.
What do you mean?
Sometimes you come here, sometimes you don't.
He pulls himself onto the shore here. He's just like, the danger is completely gone in his mind for the moment. It probably won't. It'll take a moment for him to remember. It's like, hey, I've been here before, but I remember that I've been here before, but I've never been here before. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Very confusing.
You should sing with us, swim with us, stay with us. And like as they say this, they start like diving into the water and like encouraging him to like dive with them.
And Patrick's about to, like, that's a thing, and then he stops and he thinks about it. It's like, I don't know. he's no, he decides it's like, oh, this could be fun.
Yeah.
So, there's a brief moment. It's like, should I be doing something? Nah, this could be fun. So he decides to go swimming with them for a little bit.
Roll perception alertness.
Mm-hmm. 2 successes.
Okay. The melody of their song has changed a little bit. There's still the invitation of come swim with me. Gone still is the ice instruction, but there is also, but there's in its place is this new verse of new friends are coming soon. New friends are coming soon. We'll keep them chilled so they last longer. And now we'll cut to D.
D, who is not mad at Patrick yet, but will be because he was supposed to be helping and distracting, and he's done absolutely nothing. So, but yeah, at this moment, she's not thinking about that. Mm-hmm. What she is doing, though, is she casts that and prepares to use whatever time it gives to start kicking at their hands, and pretty much it just looks at Tom and is like, do whatever you can to shove their hands off there. Just it's a case of, pretty much the two of them. She's hoping the two of them together can hurt some people while they're distracted and keep going when they're not distracted.
All right. We're going to say that there are 5 mermaids currently gripping that ice floe. So roll your Dex Athletics or Dex Brawl, whichever's higher for you. And for each success, at difficulty 7, you kick off a hand. So it's a total of 10 hands that need to be kicked off.
Okay. Give me a second. I have my Dex. I'm trying to see what's higher. Athletics is, I think, actually, sadly, better than my Brawl, which I may not even have. Oh, no. I have it at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah.
I think it might be like the same.
No, one's at 2, the other's at 1.
Okay. I don't have your updated stuff. I need to mark it.
Well, okay, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. That's what I have on there.
Okay, no, yours is probably the more updated one because you're updating stuff. I may not have updated it on my copy. Is all I'm saying. I will trust yours, so.
Okay. Let's see.
Mine is updated with pen on paper.
So. Well, I got 1.
Okay. And he got 3, so you've managed to kick off 2 mermaids total.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to do before I zoom back over to Patrick? Now that like the magic will wear off after this, so
yeah.
I mean, it depends how many turns would have passed while he was doing all of that, I guess. Because if it's been more than 1 turn, then they would probably get a chance to try to tip us, and we would get a chance to try to kick him at this as well, in theory.
Okay, yeah. I'll I'm gonna roll the mermaids tipping as like 1 dice roll. They're ethereal, so they're not gonna have much more than like 2 strength apiece. So I'm gonna go with a 60-10, 2 dice for each mermaid still holding on. It wobbles, but it's not tipping over. You can roll your dex athletics again to see if you kick the remaining 3 off.
It took 2 hands. That's 1.
Okay. Let's see how Thomas fares.
He kicked off another. Well, he kicked off half of 1. Can we kick off half a mermaid?
We're going by hand. So for every 2 hands, you've kicked off a mermaid. So
I understand. I'm just making bad jokes.
Half of okay.
Half a mermaid.
You severed like a couple of fingers. That's great. No, ouch. Okay, so you guys have kicked off what? 3 mermaids now, which leaves 2 still messing with you.
Yes.
Okay. And your Chronos wears off.
Indeed.
Okay. Patrick, back to you.
Oh yeah. So Patrick's having a nice swim with some of the mermaids here, and maybe they're getting into a nice little game of like swim tag here.
Mm-hmm.
They're a lot better swimmers, so so it's actually a little bit more of a challenge for him, but it's still a lot of fun as he's going on here. He doesn't, everything's all the problems. There's still that nagging thing, like wasn't he supposed to be doing something? But at the same time, it seems this is a lot of fun. He's never played. Apparently, he's played with mermaids before, but this is his first time. Really, it's still confusing. But after a certain point, he swims by, and he just happens to swing by the portal, and he's staring at it again, and then he remembers that, and then he's hearing the song. It's like, new friends are coming soon. New friends are coming soon. And we'll keep them chilled so they last longer. He just goes like, it's like, I don't think, he manages to surface at one point after hearing that again. He goes, I don't think people people aren't popsicles. They don't last longer when they're cold.
And one of the mermaids lets out like this very melodious chuckle and points to like a cave-like area.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "Oh, they keep very well. They keep very well, and they serve us." And she's pointing at this cave. Roll perception alertness to see if you can make out what you're looking at.
Oh, that's 4 successes.
You see, like, slowly desiccating, like rotting, bloated corpses with like sacks with like these like serpentine looking fishy things inside of them.
Yeah.
It's definitely where they nest.
Oh, good. Yeah, at that point, Patrick's eyes sort of narrow. Oh, at this, and he at first he tries to put his fists on his hips, but then he just starts, he starts to sink before he swings back up, and he goes, some of those people are my friends, and I don't like them being like that.
Well, once we get them, they can be our friends. They say, just completely alien in their approach to things.
Like, but I don't want friends like that, he says as he points at them. I like them just as they are.
And their songs adjust a little, and you can hear sort of sing-song, "Don't be selfish, don't be selfish."
Don't be selfish, Patrick.
We need new friends. So many more new friends. And as they're like singing this along, you notice that in the sax, the little serpentine movements are going along with the rhythm of the song.
Yeah, that's fucking scary as hell. Patrick is like, you said I've been here before, right?
Oh, you're always welcome here. Welcome to come and welcome to leave.
Then I'll come back one day. Maybe I'll bring some friends. But leave my friends be.
Roll, let's see. I guess it'd be what? Manipulation? Not empathy.
Subterfuge?
That's lying. It would either be
Leadership?
Leadership or expression. So yeah, we'll go with leadership if you're trying to kind of control them.
And does the living legend and natural leader apply on this?
The only reason they will even listen to you is your living legend benefit here.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha. So yeah, that's just the natural leader bonus then. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think is my manipulation's 2, right? Sorry.
Your manipulation is, let me double check. I lost my place. Your manipulation is at 3.
Oh, 3 and leadership's 2, right?
Yes, so a total of 5 dice.
So that means it's a diff. 4 successes.
Okay. Well, then you hear, which one are your friends?
And he was like, he thinks for a moment. It's like, oh, it's he starts to name off. He names off D. He names off. He describes D. He describes Agnes. He describes Emma. He describes them. It's like, yeah, those are them.
They start to sing the names. All of them start to sing the names you've sung. D, roll perception alertness.
Okay. Is it either of my merits?
Hearing.
Then, okay, that gives me 4.
All right. You hear them sing names, lots of names, including your own. And a head pops up out of the water and just kind of peers and looks at you and looks at Thomas and starts singing the names of them and Emma and Agnes, Marcia and Dee.
And Redcap Jesus.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus.
That totally doesn't even fit into a mermaid song ever.
Nope. And Redcap, even they're kind of a little. There's so much they can do.
But they like kind of do the head tilt as they're going through this roll call, and it's a question: are you one of these people?
She's holding onto Thomas's hand with her one free hand.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like her fingers clenched tighter, because she's just like, this is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of stares down one of them and just gives the tiniest nod.
Okay.
It's really distrustful, like.
Yes. And then it looks at Thomas and it gives the roll call. And Thomas does not nod.
She's just gonna look at them and say, "He's my friend."
And the mermaid that was singing the roll call kind of gives a sharky grin. You don't care if he's your friend.
She'll flip it off with her free hand.
It does not know what that means.
That's probably for the best.
We don't care if it's your friend. We care if it's Patrick's friend.
She's gonna do it anyways.
Yeah. So yeah, it's giving a confused look to the figure, and it tells you you can leave, but we need a friend. And it's like looking at Thomas as it says, we need a friend.
She just shakes her head. Either we both leave or we both stay here.
Oh, we'll welcome more than one friend, she says. And you'll see like a couple of heads pop up behind her, and they all have this sharky grin on their face. on offshore, there's like people like panicking. They can't see the mermaids, um, but they can see that there's like this bear and girl trapped on an ice floe, and like you can hear like people are panicking and trying to like call authorities of various natures to help out.
Yeah, if she can kick at one of these mermaids, she's gonna kick at them.
Dex athletics.
I'm helping.
I got 2.
Thanks, Patrick.
Okay, 2 success. Yeah, you managed to connect with one of them. Roll. What is it for damage for punching or kicking?
Dex
it's
brawl.
No, it's strength.
No,
It's
strength ball,
plus
strength ball.
like I think it might be strength plus 1 or something along those lines.
Yeah,
Okay.
kicks are a little stronger, so +1. Yeah.
Okay, so my strength is weak. But here we go.
Let's see how your kick game goes.
Not good. I hit, but it's just enough to splash some water.
Yeah. Yeah, and water doesn't bug the marrow or the myrrh.
They do not. But she's made her point that she's kind of like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think she's made her point. If they didn't understand the finger being flipped, they probably understand a kick.
Yeah. Yeah, a kick is a much more universal sign of aggression than flipping the bird. Especially when your universe consists of being underwater all the time. But like as it looks at you, it's like they stop chanting the names of like the people who are free to go, and once again start resuming. Friends are coming. They'll keep longer on ice.
She's gonna just look at him and be like, "Do you got anything that'll help us? Like, do you got a wind or something? Anything? Can you turn them into ice cubes?"
When you say this to your ally, let's see, hold on. Okay, he's going to very rapidly just kind of like try to toss D onto like the larger part of the lake that is not currently a free floating ice floe. You can roll your like strength athletics if you want to try and hold on, or you can just let yourself be thrown to safety.
She's just gonna what she would do, okay? Because basically, do I not have time to ask him what he's doing?
Yeah, it's what his response is this.
She won't. No, she's not gonna let him just throw her away. So yeah, we're gonna fight that one.
Okay.
You said strength athletics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining he has better strength than me. I got 1.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess as defender, he's trying to like throw you off. He doesn't, but it's enough to sort of upset the ice.
Mm-hmm.
And since it still had 2 myrrh holding on to the side, it starts to tip upward. So roll. Well, I guess since you're clutching onto him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I probably would be because if he's trying to throw me, then I'm just like, nope, cling.
Okay, roll stamina as you slide into the water then.
Okay. And this is where I drown, guys. Yeah, maybe.
No, it's just going to raise your difficulty by 1 again. So it'll put it at 8 difficulty, I believe, right?
Okay.
Okay. But now that you guys are out of sight from mortals because you're underwater, you see Thomas spend a point as he spends glamour, he shifts into a bear in front of you and like reaches out for D as he starts to claw at the myrrh.
This she'll play along with because he is a fucking bear, and this is her friend, and it's clear that he's as loyal to her as she is to him.
Yeah.
Because he is behaving with loyalty. She's just not willing to. Yeah, she's not willing to play along when it comes to it's like she had just said either we both make it or we both go down.
Yeah,
and she wasn't gonna play that game. So yeah, she'll if he reaches for her, she'll kind of move into him. So she's like, actually, she'll try to move onto his back so that he can do it from the so he can claw from the front.
All right. I just realized you're not a seal, so please roll Dex Athletics for that.
I am clearly not a seal.
Yes.
And if she went spider, she would drown in 3 seconds. So
only on the weekends.
There's a chance she could skitter across the top. Oh wait, no, she's one of those bigger spiders, isn't she? Or
no, she's a tiny little one that burrows.
Oh, yeah, don't burrow in water.
No, I'm not a water spider of any variety. Jesus, with the botches.
Good gravy.
No. It does not work. In fact, I go underwater.
He's reaching for you. You're trying to get to him, and he misses. Yeah, you're starting to go deeper, but silver lining to this horrible sort of event, where you can roll your perception alertness to see the trod.
Okay, as I die, I see where Patrick has abandoned me to.
He is going to be coming back soon.
But if I'm just a dead body in the water, that's not going to make you feel good, is it? All right. So, let's see. You said perception alertness?
Mm-hmm.
0. So I don't. You tell me what I see, but there's 0 there.
You're very distracted by the turn of events, so you don't see the trod. It's probably behind you or something.
Right. So that's fine. Yeah, she's gonna go in, since she's obviously not seen anything. She's going to try to push back to the top where there is air.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just say that's what happens at the start of the next turn. And Patrick, you hear the song has changed back to "Friends Are Coming, They Keep Better on Ice," that kind of whatever weird.
No, I said don't take them.
They weren't being cooperative. We tried to be nice. And they laugh in unison. And at this point, their laugh reveals just how shark-like their teeth are. Just to send that little extra of menace home.
He looks up the bright sky for the moment up here in this strange place, and he just looks back at them, and his eyes sort of narrow again as he's looking at them. Looks back at the sky. It's like, you should be nicer than this.
Oh, we're very nice. To you. And they seem genuinely confused by this reprimand.
He's just he's looking at them. It's like, it's not night. There's a weird thought in his brain. It's like, it's not nighttime. It shouldn't be like that. Well, maybe not this, but he's just staring at them for a moment. And he's just he's got that squint at them. I'm gonna go see my friends now. Maybe I'll see you again later. He says as he dives to the bottom of the lagoon here, and then he starts power swimming up as fast as he can to try and dolphin leap out and dive down. This is his bunk to Quicksilver himself to get back through the portal and rush through.
Okay. I'll say that is, if you want to roll your Dex Athletics to it, will lower it more significantly than if we just narrate.
Definitely.
Okay, so.
Okay, let me remove 1. Okay, that is 3 successes.
Okay, so we're going to say that takes away 3 difficulty. It makes it reduced by 3.
Okay, so it's Wayfarer and Faye, 6 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. That is 4 successes.
Okay. So what you doing there?
So Patrick, as he leaps out of the water and he dives that down, it just like suddenly it's like a blur of motion and fairy dust even under the water as he just goes going through like a freaking rocket as he just goes barreling quicker than can be seen, and he's just swimming through the water. He sees Dee, who's just like, "Ugh." And because weight doesn't work too as well with in water, he starts pushing her, and he pushes her right into the bear, and is just pushing them super speed all the way to the shore.
Okay. Roll your strength athletics. It's 5 dice.
5 dice. 2 successes.
Okay, D, in this, like, in a blur of green and red, this figure
and
comes...
a golden shimmer of pixie dust.
Yes. Shoots through the water from behind you, scoops you and this bear up, and starts pushing you up and towards the shore. It's... How many successes did you have? 2, right?
2 on the strength, yeah.
Okay, you managed to push them up out of the depths of the water. This bear that people didn't see before, and the girl that people did.
And they're, of course, just suddenly going towards the shoreline.
Yes, through the slushy, cold water. So yeah, it'll take another turn to actually get them to the shore. So if you want to roll another strength athletics for that.
Yeah, I will. He's moving so goddamn fast right now.
What?
That is 2 more successes.
Okay. D, you're being rescued. in one of the most ham way possibles. Roll perception alertness to see if it dawns on you that your friend is a bear, and this is potentially a very chaotic situation.
Perception alertness wouldn't... I don't know. Is that the right roll?
No, it would be what? Perception. They need a perception like sense.
Because she knows he's a bear.
Yes,
but would it maybe just be wit?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I was like, that makes just to come to that awareness.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
The significance of him being a bear. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So she's kind of shoved up onto the shore, and she's like coughing because she was actually pretty deep underwater by then. I hadn't had the chance to go for the top yet, so she's doing this, much longer than that, because that would be really irritating if I kept going. And then she's going to look at because that's probably while air is coming back into her brain, and that's when it comes to her. And where there are lakes, there are often trees nearby, right?
Yes, there are definitely trees nearby.
Okay, she's going to look at Tom and be like, head into the trees, shift back, and go somewhere else. Come out in a couple of minutes. Come up with a story. And that's, kind of in between coughs.
Yeah. The bear kind of gives like this like mournful look and just like gets its wet, cold, very groggy self up and just like starts making a mad sprint for the woods, much to the panic of those on the shore.
But it seems to be the best option she could come up with. Bears in trees makes a lot more sense than bears in the water where there were people before.
Yes, this poor water bear or aqua bear.
No, this is not an aqua bear.
No, it is not. This is poor Thomas, the soggy bear.
Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing the best she could to try to help here, because the thing is, a bear is not something that they're going to forget unless we suddenly call upon the weird, and that'll just make everything worse.
Yes, Patrick helping by making things worse.
I'm helping.
Yeah, and she's just going to stay on the ground. She is freezing. Like, she's currently at diff 8. And she is freezing. She is completely soaked.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just kind of curling up in a ball to herself once she kind of sees that, like while watching to make sure that Thomas gets off to the woods where he can, shift down, wait a few minutes, and kind of sneak back into the crowd and pretend like he was always there.
A large number of people start to crowd around you guys, by the way, as soon as the bear runs, which is like almost instantly. They're like, oh, good, you're not mauled to death by a bear or drowned.
She's just going to play the I'm too cold to talk game.
Yeah, it's like responsible adults are definitely crowding, them crowding very tightly around Patrick, like, what'd you do kind of shit. Like you hear somebody like, well, what about that other kid that was out there? And you'll hear like maybe they didn't notice because of the the general chaos of everything that's happened, but you'll hear like splashing along. And I'm not going to make you guys roll for this because combat's over. But you'll hear somebody like kind of splashing and then like flopping themselves down onto the ice and going,
it's Thomas.
Yes.
Poor Thomas. She's gonna try to move closer to him. She is pretty much doing her best to turn her back on Patrick at this point. And just and go to the friend who actually has shown he's a friend.
And Patrick's like, talking with his them. He has no idea of what's going on here, and is just like, and there's telling the them, it's like, oh yeah, no, it was amazing down there. You have no idea what was going on there. I'd been to a place I'd been before, but I'd never been there. It was weird, he's being him.
Mm-hmm. So both of you can roll one last perception alertness for this scene.
Mm-hmm. Nope, that's a botch.
Okay. Everything seems hunky-dory for you, and
I got one.
Okay. From Emma's direction, you hear Emma humming along to the tune the mermaids were singing. The mermaids have stopped, but Emma is just sort of humming this sweet but malicious tune to herself. And she's kind of set back from the rest of the crowd, who is like doting on everybody that's out of the water. And just faintly hear her say, "We need new friends." And that's where I'm going to end this scene. So, because only one person heard it, and I feel like it'll be fine. Cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm.
Thing.
Yeah,
I feel like she's got other things to worry about at this moment, but there is something to be dealt with soon.
Oh, yes. So that's where we'll end our scene. Thank you, players, so much for joining, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.